Sunlight in your hair, gentle on my skin. Kami ni sasu hizashi, yasashiku fureru. Mountains stand guard where our story begins. Yamayama ga mimamoru ai no hajimari. In your sundress swaying, my heart quietly spins. Yureru sound o lesu ni kokoro wa tokimeku. A soft breeze carries memories of hope. Soyokaze wa hokoru kibou no omoi. We follow footprints through forests of gold. Kogan no mori wo yuku futari no ashiyaku. Oh, the mountains rise, the ocean sighs. Yama wa sobie, umi wa sasayaku. Wrapped in wonder, your gaze meets mine. Fushigi ni tsutsumare, hitomi ga kasanaru. Feel the wind that softly blows your dress. Doresu o nabikaseru, yasashii kaze o kanjite. In the stillness our hearts confess. Shizuke-san no naka de ai o tsutaeau. Far beyond the horizon, the ocean calls your name. Chiheisen no moko, umi ga kimi wo yobu. Soft tides keep our secrets, weaving love into the waves. Uchiyoseru nami ni ai no shirabe o tsuzuru. Through evergreen forests we wander in time. Tsumidori no mori o ayumu toki o kanjite. In every rustling leaf our destiny aligns. Topa ga yureru tabi futari no unmei ga kasanaru. Oh, the mountains rise, the ocean sighs. Yama wa sobie, umi wa sasayaku. Wrapped in wonder, your gaze meets mine. Fushigi ni tsutsumomeru, hitomi ga kasanaru. My hand in yours, we stand where earth meets sky. Kimi no te o nigiri, sora to daichi ga majiwaru basho e. As the wind blows your sundress, our love will never die. Doresu nabiku kaze ni kimenai ai o chikau.
Okay, everyone, I'm getting the last little bit of stuff set up because the closed caption is not currently working. Let's see if that fixes it. It does. It does. It does. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I am getting ready to jump outside now. Today we're going to talk about modern slavery. We're going to talk about all the ways to solve the issue and what you can do to make it. We're just going to talk about it. You'll see. You will see. Make sure the stuff is turned off the way I want it to be. It is. It is great. And one more thing here. Perfect. Okay. Everything's good. I think, let me double check TTS one more time. I'll make sure just to see if you guys can hear. Okay, guys, I don't know why. What's supposed to be working is not. Couldn't tell if the TTS was working there or not. No, it's one thing. If it's not one thing, it's another. Okay, there's that. I don't know. Okay. So I need to take this because I really want to see if TTS is working or how you guys can hear it. So again, that's what we're going to say. Okay. So I need to take this. Again, that's what we're going to say. It's pretty quiet. I'm okay with it. I am okay with how quiet it is. It will not. Okay, so let's get on outside. Let's get on out. Let's get on and get what we need to get done, accomplished, and done and accomplished. So. One day prep will be fast and easy, and it won't take me, 4 billion days to get all my prep in place. One day, I say. We don't know when that one day is going to be. So current temperature is here. It is about 50 degrees. Let's say it's 50 degrees. It's very breezy. You can see the big fluffy clouds. It'd be a great day to set up a clouds capture sky time lapse. That's the word I was looking for. Look at those ginormous big fluffy clouds. They're just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So we're going to go, let's go get some feed. So, slavery. Modern slavery. How are you a slave? Well, let's break this down. We're going to be real simple and sweet. If you are doing a job and you are not getting paid what you deserve, and you are wasting your life energy, the energy that you have, the limited amount of time that you are this person on this planet at this time, if you are not getting compensated what you think is more than fair, you are a slave. And you are being taken advantage of. And that's very common. They do this a lot. And all they did was rearrange one job for another job. So they rearranged being a slave, an owned slave, to being a non-owned slave. And you might be saying, but yeah, you're sounding like a socialist or all of that crap now. And I'm not, because I think that system can be just as bad. That system will play you just as hard. I think ownership is important. And that's why I think the ownership of your time and your labor should be. People saying, oh yeah, but you're not voluntarily doing shit. So you're voluntarily going and working that job for the pennies that you're getting? No, you're being taken advantage of. And you can still be a capitalist. You can still think about believing in the free market. You can still think that this system is the best that we've got right now and still hate every aspect of it. I'm not buying into this crap. Like, you can like a person and hate the actions that they're doing. Too often than not, we think that they both have to make sense. When it's so windy right now, it's awesome. So you guys can see a lot of those people online. They're going to talk about, like, I can tell you right now, most everybody I'm talking to, most everybody that could be watching this, most everybody I know is a debt slave. You owe money that you don't have to something that you should be paid off. You might have your house. You might be in debt in your house. You might be in debt to your car. You might be in debt to college. You might be in debt to a credit card. You're in debt. You're in debt. You're a debt slave, because the rich and powerful, the elite, all those, they didn't teach you how to use money properly. On purpose, of course. They didn't teach you how to use money, and they hoped that you would put yourself in debt so that they could collect monies off of your ignorance. Also, they tricked us. Think about this when we grew up in school. The bells rang, we moved. We didn't get to focus. If you were really good at something in school, you were really good. You didn't get special attention to excel on that particular path because you were awesome in that field. No, you had to do the same old bullshit that everybody else had to do. And they just told you this is what you were going to do. That's what happened. Now, maybe some of you got lucky and got homeschooled, or you went to some special school, but you were told to be a cog in the fucking machine because that's what they want. Now, you want to be a cog. I'm not talking to you if you love your job and you think you're getting paid what you deserve. I'm not talking to you. You're either ignorant, which is fine, or you're not a debt slave. You've taken control. You've already taken control of your life. And you're just like, yes, I am agreeing that this is a good exchange for my life's energy for the amount of dollars that I am for all of the monies. And if that's you, cool. Me, I'm not exchanging my life energy for silly dollars for stuff that I don't enjoy. It's money. Money is literally just moments of your life. So now you might be trading some of those moments of your life for future moments so you can have different experiences. Great. You might be trading some of those moments of your life that we call monies into taking care of animals or buying a toy or entertaining yourself. Again, I'm not saying that we need to get rid of money. I'm just saying we need to stop letting the system enslave us with the way they're enslaving everyone. So how do you break this system? Because you guys have probably heard this rant from tons of other people. So how do you break this system? Well, first off, you don't let the materialism of the brainwashing, like, the dun eating McDonald's, or the, you need the latest, greatest toy, or, oh, you need to, sign your life away with a Netflix thing. One way is to figure out what you actually need, what you want, what you desire, what's important in your life, and spending money on that, and not spending money on shit that you don't need. Other thing I'm going to tell you, and this is controversial here, but fucking pirate whatever you can. Corporations don't care. Corporations don't want you to own anything anymore. They want you to own nothing and be happy. mean, think about this. When you were a kid, you bought a VHS, you bought a DVD. Hell, you might have even bought the digital downloadable rights to a movie. You don't have that on Netflix. You don't have that on Spotify. You don't have that on Apple TV. You don't own anything. You're paying them a license. You're actually paying them a pretty expensive license to watch TV. Because back in the day, cable, the reason why cable existed, a lot of you kids maybe don't know this, or younger folks, the reason why cable existed is so you didn't have to put ads on TV. When's the last time you watched something on cable TV that didn't have an ad? I don't remember. You know, think about this. You know, 24-hour news wasn't meant to have ads. That's why you paid a service. That's why you paid more money than just over-the-air TV. You paid more money so you didn't have ads. And how does this relate? You might be saying, yes, Doc, but how does this relate to being a slave? Because we're giving up everything. Look at the way people lease cars today. You never own the car. I mean, look at even some of the stuff that some of the new cars are doing, is that you don't own the right to modify your car. There's the John Deere tractors. People don't own the right to modify their own tractors. You have to buy pre-approved parts. You have to do all of this crap. You don't own it then. If you can't do whatever the hell you want with it. If I buy a Tesla and I want to put a gas-powered engine in it, I should be able to put a gas-powered engine in it. But technically, the terms of service say no. Well, if the terms of service say that you can't do something with a product that's yours, you don't own it. You're a slave. You're renting it. This modern bullshit that we live in is exactly it. Now, I'm not telling you, sometimes it's okay to rent things. Rent things. That's fine, as long as you know what you're doing. But when they tell you you have lifetime ownership, or like what Amazon's doing right now, where you can't download your ebooks. I bought it. I bought the ebook. Why can't I download it? It's mine. I want to do whatever I want to do with it. Amazon shouldn't get to tell me what I do with something I purchased. Oh, well, I don't care what the terms of service says. You don't own it then. You didn't purchase the ebook. You rented the ebook. What happens if the power goes out next week and I want to read that ebook? I can't do that because I can't get on my device because it won't let me download it. Downloading is ownership, at least partly ownership. So there's that. So number one, first thing we do is pirate. Pirate every fucking thing that you guys can. If you have a small, if there's a small company or there's a small something, and you want to support them however you can. Buy their product. If you really like something that you're pirating, so buy it. But make sure that when you buy it, you're giving the money directly to the person that created the product, and not some third party like Amazon or somebody else that's putting you in slavery, consumer slavery. So that's what they're doing. Next, figure out ways to re-own aspects of your life that you don't currently have control over. So do you rely on somebody else, some corporation, to feed you? I'm saying like McDonald's or restaurant, something like that. Start taking back control over that. Stop buying the coffee from Starbucks. Start making the coffee from Starbucks. Oh yeah, you're just like, but in the scheme of things, it's a nicety, and I'm not really losing that much money off of it. You're right. You're absolutely not losing that much money off of, I need a different, this gimbal is not balanced the way the other ones were, and this thing dances around like a mofo. So start making your own coffee. It's a little thing. But the time, okay. So is the time. Oh, guys, come on. Gimbal, Hold on, guys. This gimbal is my brand new gimbal. It just threw my phone on the ground. Decided it didn't want to take the phone. Now it doesn't want to gimbal. Okay, here we go. This is one of the worst balancing gimbals I have ever seen. It's great for you guys just have to sit right here on the ground. Stick you guys in the mud. Put your foot in the mud here. So when I put it there, you'll be able to see both things I'm doing. Okay, so is your time worth? I don't know how much you make. I don't know how much a Starbucks coffee is, but like, what you need to do is figure out how much a Starbucks coffee is, and is it worth that much of your life? Maybe it is, because there's two things you got to figure out. Not only are you going to make it yourself, you got to make it yourself. You got to buy the products, but the time that you're saving, is it worth it? That I can't answer. Only you can answer that, because only you can prevent forest fires. So distracted. So easy, guys. So distracted. So easy. Today is a absolutely distracted day. I have been all over the place today. I don't know why. Don't know why. I had a whole big... I made the thumbnail. I got that down, but the rest is just distraction. Distraction. So figure out how to control your own food that you put in your body. Next, clothes. Can you mend your own clothes? Do you know somebody to help you mend your own clothes? Can you trade something to mend your own clothes? Next is start owning things again. So buy books, buy physical media, buy things that they can't take from you. That fan needs to be cleaned off. And what do I mean by things they can't take from you? Well, knowledge. Absolutely. Figure out how to retain the most knowledge. So get on the YouTubes, get on the places on the interwebs, and take classes. Thank you so much for the lemon. Hope you're having a lovely, lovely day. Here we're just ranting about modern slavery and owning things again and not letting the system take control over you and taking control back of your own life. So I popped in and I saw you playing one of the first person shooters. I don't remember which one. Saw you playing that earlier today, dude. Cool. But anyways, yeah, thanks for jumping in, passing some stuff. So how do you, I'm repeating myself again because I am absolutely distracted today. So let's say that you are down and out. You don't have a whole lot, because that's a lot of people here. How do you take ownership back? Well, first off, you accept that you are going to have to be a cog in the machine for a while, because to not be a cog in the machine requires effort, time, and a good plan. So what I need you guys all to do is, if you don't want to be the cog in the machine, you start making a plan. How can you escape the matrix? How can you escape all of the brainwashing bullshit that they're doing to you? How can you not be part of this corporate greed? And might be many different ways. Maybe you have a skill, or you can make a craft, or you have something like that. do that. Maybe you just want to be a YouTuber. Maybe you want to, maybe you want to just, you and a group of friends, you want to find some stuff. Maybe you just want to say, screw it, man, I just done with this system. I want to go off grid. Figure out your plan. Write it down. Write down your plan. We, as people in this modern era, we do not write down our plans enough. We do not put our plans on paper. And spam calls. Of course, we don't write down our plans enough. We don't figure out what we're going to be doing with our life enough. We just play it by ear. Part of it is because we think we're so busy. But if you think about it, one of the best things about having a plan is when you get confused, you go back and you look on it. You say, okay, what am I going to do next? What's the next step? What is the next step on the thing? And so we can do that. And that's what you guys absolutely need to do. Have a good plan in place. And again, it can be a lame plan. The plan doesn't have to be a good plan. It can just be like, okay, this week I'm going to make my own coffee. This week I'm going to start my blog. This week I'm going to, do some research and take the step in this direction. That's all I'm asking. All I'm asking is something short and sweet to make sure that you are moving in the right direction. Then when you have the plan written down, you need to start taking the steps. Now this is where a lot of people out there, they stumble a lot. They get mad at themselves if you write down the steps and then you're just like, shit, I didn't do, I didn't get as much done this week as I should have. Whatever, it's over. Focus on getting that done next week. Set yourself, you now know a realistic goal. All the stuff that you thought you were going to be able to do, you're not going to be able to do all of that. So start making realistic steps and realistic goals. And that's, sometimes doing things slower, being lazier. Life gets in the way a lot. So many people forget that life is regularly getting in our way. We want to do this, we want to do that, and other people, things that other people are doing, the weather, our car, your brother, your best friend, that dude standing you in front of the line who's going to stand there for 11 hours while he decides which cheeses he wants to get. Those guys are that's going to change aspects of your life. You have no control over that, and you shouldn't. It's part of the fun chaos of the game. But also, when you have a plan and you don't live up to it, don't berate yourself. There's so much chance going on, that it's okay that we don't get. Now, don't be lazy. Don't go off and be so lazy and keep giving yourself excuse after excuse. Oh, well, I couldn't do this thing that I wrote on my list because I ate too many popsicles on Wednesday and I just don't feel like doing that. Or if you've noticed that it's been weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and you haven't done anything, you're not going to do it. Take it off your list. It's not a priority to it. It is absolutely not a priority to you. But Jock, it is. No, it's not. And that's okay. Part of life is about trying to figure out what is actually important to you and what is just the bullshit that you don't want to deal with. This wind is annoying, guys. It's absolutely annoying the crap out of me. I don't know if you guys have been able to tell. Now, there we go. Okay. My phone is super dirty right now. That's okay. This wind's even blowing over my phone. Trying to put you guys on the ground so you guys don't get blown over, but the wind's just like, nah, we're still gonna blow you over. So, come up with a plan. understand that your plan is that's all it is. It doesn't matter if you don't follow it. It wasn't a priority. Don't be upset with yourself for not following that plan. Don't put up with bullshit. Don't put up with bullshit. If you are being exploited by your current employer, start looking for a new employer. I'm not telling you to just quit your job right now. I'm not telling you to be crazy. I'm not telling you crazy shit. I'm just telling you, it's time to find a new job. So, if you're getting paid enough, you don't care about being exploited. Everybody has a price, and if you're getting paid enough, you're not being exploited. You agreed upon a particular price. But if you agreed upon a particular price and now you're feeling like that price isn't worth it, start looking for another job. Start trying to figure out. Because life, you should be able to do your job, the amount of money coming in, be content with it, and know that, you know what, you're doing this for a short period of time because you're doing this. If you're feeling burnt out and you are feeling exploited and you're feeling all that stuff, then you are not in the right thing. You need to be doing something else. I can't tell you what that something else is because everybody's different. But my advice to my friends when it comes to things is find a way to do something that you love and get paid to do it. It's hard for every individual person out there, but figure out a way to get paid to do something you love doing. The other thing that you need to do, if you can't do that, then you go find somebody that's going to pay you a fuck ton of money. Someone that's going to pay you a fuck ton of money, and you just do that. You just accept that you are going to get paid lots and lots of money, all the monies, and you take all the monies and you do that job, and you do that job long enough until you are happy with all of the monies that you have, and take that monies and make a way to better your life and to do something else. And again, that might be, you're not too good for any job. If it pays well enough, if it pays well enough, then who cares what it is? You're not going to be there forever. You're using that job. They know if they're paying you crazy money, they know that you don't want to be doing this job. They know that people aren't here because this is the best job in the world. They know that they need to pay crazy monies because this job is a job that no one really desires doing. And so you take that crazy monies, you do it as long as you possibly can, whatever that means to you. And then you don't spend that money. You don't change your lifestyle. Just because you're making crazy money, you don't go and become ghetto rich. You don't go out there and start like, oh man, I make $100,000 now. I can go buy me a Bentley and wear Gucci. No, dude, go take that $100,000 and put it away. Put as much as away. Live like you're dirt poor, man. Go eat beans and rice. Put that rest of the money, invest it to your future. Invest it in something that's going to generate you revenue. You don't know what that is? I get it. It's going to be different for everybody. Everybody's going to have a different way to generate revenue. It might be growing food. It might be learning a skill. It might be, gambling on the stock market. It might be gambling on the crypto market. Whatever your flavor of investing money is. But buying a Bentley is being a slave. Because guess what? You don't need one. A Bentley is not that much better of a car than another car. Most cars, not that much different, really. They're gonna tell you that they're different. You're gonna pretend, you're gonna fall to the marketing about how this car is better than that car. Oh, well, this car's got a V8 and this one's got a V6 and this one's got a supercharged SS in it and the Hemi. You're not really gonna be using most of those features. If there's a particular feature, like you live in a cold area and you really want heated seats, fine. I'm not telling you don't give up. I'm not telling you not to do that, but most of the crap that we have in cars today is literally just that. Most every one of you, if you had a working car from the 80s, you're going to be just fine. If you got a car to get you from point A to point B, rarely breaks down, and was made in the 1980s, you would be just fine. You wouldn't need anything else. You just need to remind yourself of that. The reason you want stuff, if it's not a tool to make your life easier, to better your life, to better your career, to better you or better the world around you, then you're just being sold it. You're just being the customer. It's part of the reason I have such a tough time selling any of my merch, because no one needs my shit. I mean, I'd like it. I think it'd be cool. You don't need my shit. You don't need one of my hats gone. Speaking of hats, you don't need one of my hats. Go spend that money on other cool things. So, I want to find my hat. Well, I don't know. My scarecrow. That's what probably made me think about my hat. My little scarecrow doesn't have his hat on. I don't know where it's at. I don't even know which way the direction the wind's blowing. Maybe it fell in the water. Ah, there it is. Found it. See, he's bald, man. He doesn't like being bald. He wants to wear one of the dock hats, which is cool. All the cool kids are wearing them. Okay, here we go. See, you don't need one of these. They're cool, but you don't need one. I was on a tangent. Gone. Part of the reason I've been trying not to let myself stay on tangents too long, trying not to let that bad juju just pulse through me, because I can be so angry. It's so easy to be angry in this world. So easy to be angry. Because there's so much scammy crap going on. That's why I think we talked about it in the last episode. It's why community is so important. It's why you need to be around cool people. It's why you need to surround yourself by the people that are cool, that are doing cool things. It's why you need to have your friends look over your plan on how to get out of the system, how to stop being a wage slave. You know, I was thinking about this the other day. One of my friends telling me about a job he had. And it paid fine. But then they're just like, oh, well, we're going to give you a 63-cent raise. And I'm just like, when you make $20-some an hour, a 63-cent raise it feels like an insult to me. What is that, like? Let's see. $6 on $100. I don't know. It's called maths. I'm pretty at that. Anyway, it just, I don't know. I mean, it just feels like, oh, well, 63 cents is a lot of money. Is it? Is it a lot of money? Let's think about that, guys. Is 63 cents a lot of money? Is anything a lot of money? Is 63 cents worth spending an extra 10 minutes? Now, if you're just wasting you're just wasting your life away. Lavender Ranch, welcome. Yes. I decided I'm embracing my inner pirate with everything. We're pirating everything now. If the world is going to scam and plunder, then I'm going to be the good pirate. I don't know if you've ever seen 1 Cent. I think it's called whatever. Anime, 10 Cent. I don't remember what it's called. One Piece. There we go. One Piece. Got it. Had to pop in my head. I'll be the good pirate. But you know what? The corporations, time we take them, I can't take them down. What am I talking about? It's time we just stop participating in them. Anyways, that's what we're talking about, being a debt slave and taking more control. So the truth is, guys, you're not actually ever going to own anything. Well, okay, you do own this body. You do own this body you live in. So this little fleshy body that you get to play around with, you do own that. You own that. That's yours. You should be doing whatever you want with it. You should be enjoying the hell out of your body. You own that. Everything else, you're just kind of borrowing. So if you keep that in mind, let's erase everything that we just talked about for a minute, and let's think about this for just a second. If this fleshy body is all we actually own, why are you giving it to somebody else to do what they want with it? Because you voluntarily did that. Now, you might like nice things. We all like nice things. It's okay to trade the actions of this fleshy body for nice things. Perfectly fine to do that. But you need to be doing that for the right reasons. And then you're going to say, yeah, but what about the poor and the people that need houses and the people that need, yeah, it sucks. It sucks. But that's not everyone. That's a lot of not us. That's a lot of not us's. Us's, the ones that can fight back against the corporate thing, the ones that can say no to the corporate overlords, the ones that can say no to being a debt slave, those of us that have that freedom, because not everyone has that. I respect that. Those of us that can say no should be saying no, because then that gives power to the smaller people. It gives power to the weak. You hear that things in the Bible, the world will be inherited by the meek. The meek doesn't mean that you bow down to the corporate overlords. It doesn't mean that you're weak. It doesn't mean anything. It just means that you're the small fry and you're willing to fight. Why am I on this rant today? I'm on this rant because I am just so annoyed. I'm annoyed with the political landscape we live in. I'm annoyed with what's happening in the world. I'm annoyed that important things that we should be talking about, like health, friendship, growing your own food, playing out in nature, we should have fucking flying cars. Okay? We shouldn't be gobbledygooping, talking about this crying little crap over here. We should be doing amazing, wonderful things, because humans are amazing, awesome, wonderful people. But guess what? We're not doing any of that. Why? Because we are just slaves. We're debt slaves. We're corporate slaves. We're slaves to the system. They've bought and sold us, and we have bought ourselves, and we have absolutely got tricked. All of us, even me, even you, all of us that think that we are outside of the system, all of us that living here on the fringes of society, all of us out there, we could still have nicer things. We don't have nice things is because the rich and powerful, the elite, they don't want us to have nice things. I'll give you a great example. So whatever you think about this current administration, love him, hate him, doesn't really care. The fact that the current administration scammed millions of dollars out of his followers. He hocked to a girl it. And then, let's find more about that. Then that opened the door, so a bunch of other people did it. Then the president of Argentina or Venezuela or wherever the fuck that was, they did it. And then we have all the other stuff online. And I love crypto. But like hell if I'm telling anybody to do it. Because there's stupid people scamming everybody. And then you've got the degens. And we're here on D-Live, so I know there's some degens watching because D-Live is full of degens. And then I'm also streaming this on Kick. So you guys on Kick and you guys on D-Live, you degens, you better be listening to me with this. Stop scamming people. It's not cool. It's not fun. You're part of the problem. You're just as bad as the corporation. Just because the scammer is scamming, but Doc, that's how I beat the system. That's how I not be a slave. By being a slave master and treating everybody else lower than you, everybody else around you just the same as what the slave master did? Yes, massa. Yes, massa. Hit me again, massa. That's not how you save the system. That's not how you beat the system. That's how you become the slave master. That's how you can keep your animals. I don't know if you guys realize this. One of the best ways to keep your animals without putting up a fence is get another animal that's going to rule over those animals. That animal can't leave either. They're all slaves. When you become the prison guard, you're still a prisoner. You're still trapped in the system. Frustrating, I have to say. Anyways, that's the reason I'm frustrated. All that stuff. I'm just frustrated. I'm frustrated with how awesome people are, and people are awesome. Every one of you, Fred Rogers was always right. Every one of you is awesome in your own special way. But it doesn't mean you need to exploit the worst part of you. You know, every one of us is spectacularly awesome. We can do wonderful things. I don't care if you are a basement dwelling troll and your favorite thing to do is to say mean things to people on the internet. There's places for mean people to say mean things. It's called criticism. Sometimes it can be very useful. Sometimes somebody tells me something mean to me. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't think about that perspective. See, everybody has value. The corporations just want you to push numbers. They want you to be a cog. They just want you to do all that kind of stuff. And I'm tired of it. I want the paradigm to switch. I want the paradigm to switch. I want the lefties and the righties to stop fighting. I want something that doesn't affect your everyday life. I want you to stop being angry about it. If it is not directly affecting you, I want you to stop. Now, I know I'm telling you, who am I to tell you what you should and shouldn't do? I'm nobody. I'm just telling you things that I want to make your life better. I'm telling you things that I think would make all life better. Life would be far more exciting. Stop and smell the roses. Don't piss in your Kool-Aid or your Cheerios. Piss in your Cheerios. There's so many things I could say. It'll be lost. It'll be lost on me as well. So, I'm not passing any judgment on anyone. I've got a stick that I can point at and I can look important because I have a stick that I can point at the screen. Oh man. What you're observing now is me de-escalating what's running through my brain, because again, like I said, if you let yourself go too far down one particular rabbit hole, you let yourself get too angry, let yourself get too worked up, the system wins. It's okay to be passionate. Be passionate about important things. Be passionate for a few minutes, but don't let that passion bleed over into destroying your life. Things that bother me right now. We're going to World War III. Maybe we won't ever see it here in America, but I have European friends. There's kids that exist. Kids, I don't care if you are a Chinese kid, if you're an African kid, if you're a kid, you're a kid. Okay? You're a kid until you're probably in your 30s. I don't want to see kids go to war. I don't want to see people have to kill other people because somebody else told them to. By no means am I a pacifist. I'm just anti-war. I don't like corporations. I don't like the direction that we're going. I don't like that scammy people are scamming you out of money. I don't like that there's something amazing that you might invent, but you can't do it because you don't have the money, you don't have the time, or no one believed in you. I don't like that either. I don't know what I can do about it. I can just say I don't like it. I can say all the quiet stuff out loud, because maybe more of us need to be saying quiet stuff out loud. I'm going to point this out. We're going to head back to the house. I'm going to end this rant. But, a lot of times we tell children, oh, you can't, we sometimes tell children you can be anything you want to be when you grow up. And then we tell children, and then the next thing we tell children is you can't be a YouTuber. You can't be a pro basketball player. You can't do this. Why are we telling somebody they can't do something? What we should be saying is you can do that, and if that doesn't work out, you can also do this. That's what we should be doing. We should be telling people what they can do. We should be supporting people in what they want to do and also giving them a backup plan. I think that's my new tactic. I'm going to focus on this year is, instead of being realistically negative, which I'm a pessimistic optimist or an optimist pessimist. I don't know, whichever. I can see, but I focus on both way too often. We need to just say, people, you know what? Love the idea. You should also have this. This might be a really good backup plan. Or, what's your backup plan? It's a great one. I love it. I want to help you thrive in that one. What's your plan B? Let's have a plan B. We don't need to use plan B, but let's have plan B. We got plan B. Things will get better. Why are humans so silly? Why are we so silly? Why do we think we need to rule over other? Why do we think we need to rule over other humans? Why do we think that people need to rule over us? Why do we have to go to war? Why don't we have nice things? This is what I regularly think. That's why I love people. I love trying to figure out what makes people tick, because all of these don't make sense to me, really. Because love is so fucking powerful, but we let all of this other stuff overpower compassion and love. I'm not even talking romantic love. I'm talking like just full, like, the way you love your mom and the way you love. ice cream, and the way you love your significant other, and the way you love a favorite movie. The way you love all of those things. People, us, peoples. We'll figure it out. We'll switch that paradigm. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out how to swap that paradigm. I don't know how yet, but we'll figure it out. We'll all figure it out together. As a team, we'll brainstorm lots of cool, new, better, awesome ideas. We'll take those new, cool, better, awesome ideas and we'll turn them into something great. Maybe we won't see it. Our kids, our grandkids, the future generations, they will see a lot better world because we sacrificed now. You know, I think is one of the things as a Gen Xer, that's one of the things that we know how to do, is we know how to make the world a little bit better. Lisa, I'll pull stuff out and hand it to you at the door, and you can just take it in. Oh, okay. Door. Okay. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to set you guys over here. My parents got here helping them unload.
Don't walk to the house.
I'm not. I'm just going to carry it right to the door. Lisa doesn't want me to get the house all muddy because she just cleaned it all. Which rightfully so. Makes sense. Don't want to dirty up the house.
Dad forgot his key at Colewood Post Office.
Okay. Okay, let me shut the door. We still got more. We still have more to talk about. I just saw my parents pull in. I want to make sure. Now, luckily, my brother and Lisa got most of the groceries in, which was awesome. We're gonna continue on. We're gonna continue on a little bit more with the rant, so, or the conversation. Maybe we should call this a conversation. Not necessarily a rant. So maybe you're just jumping in. You just read. All you're doing is you're reading the thumbnail, and it made you click. You're watching this live and you're like, what is this dirty hippie? It's walking around on a dirty Appalachian farm. What does he know about being a slave to the system? I was a city kid, lived in the city, lived in the suburbs for a while. What do I know? Well, I thought Y2K was going to happen for sure. Sold on that idea. So I started making lots of plans. And that in turn led me to want to be a survivalist. I like making my own shit. I like being in charge of my own self. I like that everything that I do is my choice. The truth is that is a lie. Most things that you do are not your choice. Other people, other life events are dictating them. And it is not just you, but it is everything else. That's okay. You learn that with the clarity of middle age. When you're old and young, when you're old, you're scared of dying. When you're young, you're scared of getting old. And when you're smack dab in middle age varies, but I'd say it's your 40s through your 60s, maybe your 40s even through your late 50s. I think it depends on you and your lifestyle. Middle age helps you, middle age gives you this level of clarity. You just figure shit out. And what I want is, I don't want to be part of this system. I haven't been. I don't even want to be more part of this system that is not making life good for anyone. I'm curious how this works. Yeah, okay. It doesn't work that great, but there's this thing has a longer selfie stick on it, so I want to be a solution. I don't want to be part of the problem. I want to be part of the solution. I want to create a new world. I think the world's going to crumble. I do. I think it's crumbling right now. I think I've watched it crumble most of my life. And I want to be the solution. Now, I am no Alex Jones. I am no tip of the spear. I am nobody that's going to run for Congress, who's going to get out into the system. And I don't believe voting does anything. I, in general, don't really like government. I don't mind organization. I don't mind groups of people that organize together and talk about stuff. I have no problem with that. That's cool. I understand the need of government. I much as I don't like it, I understand the need of regulations. I just want them to be followed fairly and properly. Understand all those things. But I want things to be better and different for everybody. I don't want there to be anybody that's hungry. If someone's hungry, I want them to be hungry on purpose because they're fasting, or because they fucked up and they forgot to make a sandwich. I want someone, if someone's hungry, I want it to be because it's a choice that they made. Maybe a bad choice. Maybe they were silly and they shouldn't have made that choice. But I want it to be a choice. I don't want it to be because, their parents are poor and their parents are doing everything that they can and that's all they can do. I don't want that. I want people to be homeless. Hey, if you want to live on the streets, you want to do that kind of stuff, got no problem with that. I don't want you to be forced on the streets. I don't want you to have to raise your family on the streets if that's not something you wanted. I want people to be able to, I want people to live the life that they want to live. So my spiritual belief system is we pick this life that we came into. Okay. Now at probably by the age of like 4, we've forgotten that we picked this life. Before the age of 4, while we're going through the human tutorial, while we're learning how to operate this fleshy machine, we still know what we picked. We picked a hard level, we picked an easy level, we picked something that we need to learn in this life. And so then we're here playing this life. But at a particular point, we get distracted by, the shiny things. We get distracted by searching too much on this or focusing so much on that, opening the chests. We hear that shiny chest over there and we know the storm's coming, but we go over there and we, still go work on the chest. And that in turn means that, we have to rotate harder and with less life going into endgame. We just have to, what I don't want is I don't want the corporations to be sucking life. A lot of people, and this is a hot take, so a lot of people are new souls. So if you guys haven't realized that, any of us that are older souls or that's played the role of humans for a while, we are absolutely full of new souls. A lot of the NPCs are new souls, and it's because they don't know what else to do, so they just go back into NPC mode. There's a lot of awakening coming. I don't know where new souls come from. I don't know. Maybe the earth is just peopling more. The earth has just decided it wants to people more. Like sometimes your apple tree, apples more. Earth might be just peopling more. But there's a lot of new souls on this planet right now. And the powers to be, the elite, the folks that picked the folks that picked to play the bad guys, picked the trolls, the folks that decided that they wanted to pick and play the evil side. They wanted to play the villains. Yes, those guys over there, those guys are taking advantage of the younger souls. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. And that's what I don't like. I don't want that anymore. So I'm having it's a lovely day. You caught me on a day where I am just ranting. I am tired of the system and just decided that I was just going to rant about it. So that's what we're doing. I've been pretty much ranting for the whole, however long I've been on. I've been ranting that whole entire time. People's coming, going, enjoying my rant. Just cycling the rant around. Right now we're on a down wave of my current rant. So No, go ahead. We're on a downswing of the rant. I'm absolutely welcome to anybody. I want anybody that's ever watching, don't ever feel bad about interrupting me or directing me in a different direction. You guys are here to hang out with me while I do my chores, and I treat you guys like if you guys were just friends hanging out with me, and my friends would ask me questions or want to do things, and that's just how I like it. I want this stream to be interactive. I want people to also participate. But yes, ranting is good for the soul. I absolutely agree with that, Lilac Ranch. I think that you do want to be careful about spewing your garbage on the wrong people. So don't ever feel bad about interrupting. Sometimes, absolutely sometimes you spread your garbage out too much, and not trying to. I don't want to make anybody else's life worse. If I'm spreading garbage and I'm making other people's life worse, I'll tell them, hey guys, maybe you shouldn't watch my stream for a bit, or maybe you should go on to this particular realm. We'll find something more cheerful, or I'll try to be more, I'll try not to make a thumbnail that, if I'm going to rant, I'll try not to make a thumbnail that maybe seems cheerful. I try not to deceive anyone, because if you're coming here to see happy, good, lucky things, I want to make sure that that's what you're looking for. But today, I purposely worded it and put the thumbnail very, very precise so that you guys could understand that. So let's go back and talk about more solutions. So how can we solve these issues? So first off, we can start building communities. And I've been thinking a lot about the building of communities, a whole lot about the building of communities, to the point where, okay, so I have my Discord community. A lot of you guys know about my Discord community, and that's a pretty interesting, fun little community that I've got. And some of you guys know that I'm trying to, I've got some of my friends, I'm trying to get, some of my friends, I'm getting them to move into Southern West Virginia down here. And then the other thing I've been really trying to focus on is how I can, my friends that live all over the planet, how we can work together and build like a digital community, because try to view it like trade routes. Whenever small communities functioned back in the day, you had trade routes. So you might have some friends. Sorry, the wind is actually blowing this around. I'm trying to figure out how to not let it set down. So you got your trade routes, and you might have friends, like, let's just say that I've got friends in Florida. I might be able to do some, we might need to figure out ways to find ways that we can trade services that we're each doing. Somebody's really good at that. Somebody's really good at that. Someone's growing that. Somebody makes this. And instead of necessarily having to participate in the system, we can live on the fringes of the system and use that, and use the blessing that we have of the digital world, and the blessing that we have of, things like UPS, FedEx, all of that kind of stuff. Use all of those to help better everyone. I don't exactly know how to put that into place yet. Discord's an interesting start. Having websites is things, newsletters, having streaming communities, social media. They're all really good starts, but it's not quite enough. I haven't pinned it down yet. I want to figure out how we can have digital villages, digital hamlets, digital tribes that we can interact with each other, help each other, and kind of not have to be part of the system. Or how we can be on the fringes, because we're all going to have to be part of the system. Because I like wood like this from the fence, and I'm not going to be able to mill this myself. And even if any of you guys are going to mill it, you're probably going to need electric or gasoline to mill it, or you're going to need, to replace your blades. You're going to have to find an establishment that makes that blade. So you're still going to need part of the system. But if we dance on the edge of the system, if we are on the fringes, if we're the pirates, or if we're just the pirates on the edge. So we're just digital pirates. I think that's how we can do it. I'll work on it. It's another thing I need to put in my head. Another thing I need to figure out. If I want to save the world, if I want to make the world better, I need answers. I can't expect anybody else to give me the answers. I need answers because I'm asking the question. Now, I am open to any suggestion, because there's a lot smarter people out there, and a lot of people that know a lot more things than I do. And I try to humble myself regularly. One thing I despise, and it sounds funny, I despise feeling, because maybe I'm not always, but I despise feeling like I'm the smartest person in the room. And sometimes I'm not, but it feels like I am. And I don't like that because I can't learn. I want someone to challenge me. I want someone to teach me things. Because then if that just means that I can add more to my repertoire, that means I'll be able to take that more out into the world. Got a lot of plans this year on the farm. A lot of plans. If a fraction of those plans turn out, then I can catch back up to where I was before COVID. Before COVID, some of you probably didn't follow me much during then, but before COVID, when I was streaming and working on stuff on the farm and talking about stuff, like I was going to turn this place into a hands-on retreat where people would come, they could learn skills, we would have places for them to stay. I would teach people how to build houses, we would make food, we would have we would regularly be having workshops. And then all of that got thrown to the side. And then I had a good circle of like IRL friends, people, older gentlemen, older ladies, just folks that believed in my cause, that were going to be here to help me. Some of them financially, some of them with their knowledge, some of them with just bouncing ideas off of. And every one of them's gone now. They're dead. It's just interesting. It's interesting how, and I'm not complaining. It's interesting how well the depopulation. Yeah, the depopulation is real. I was right, and I hate it. I hate the fact that I've been telling for forever that they're trying to depopulate us. They're trying to break up the family. They're trying to depopulate us. They're trying to separate us, and they're trying to get us to live in the pods. Like, they aren't joking. That isn't a joke when they say they want you to own nothing and be happy. It isn't a joke when they say want you to eat the bugs. It isn't a joke. It's not something that we should be laughing about. It's something that we should be very, very angry at. It's something that we should be doing everything in our body and soul to resist. But we don't believe them because they do everything in small increments. But you know what we can do to counteract it? There was a guy I followed for many years on YouTube. He was called Storm Clouds Gathering. I really liked the way I really liked his vision. I really liked the way he did paradigm shifts. I'm actually going to have to rewatch some of his stuff again because it's really making me think about what can I learn now that I think slightly different than I thought when I first saw him. How can I take some of his tactics and use them to change the paradigm shift? I mean, one of the ways I'm trying to change the paradigm shift is by trying to be as supportive as I can. You know, you guys know that some of you guys know that I'm starting the business that I'm starting where I'm trying to help people, where I'm being their life coach, and all that kind of stuff. And where I'm making those books, and I am racking my brain right now trying to figure out how I can give away all that stuff. The two problems that I have with giving away stuff is, one, if you give something to somebody and it's gifted the wrong way, they don't take it seriously. It doesn't mean what it means. Now, again, don't get me wrong, that's not everything or not everyone. Sometimes someone gives you something and you cherish it forever and it becomes one of your greatest cherished things. But two is also, if you give something away, people don't take it seriously. They think that just because you're giving, like if I give away my counseling session where people can come and talk to me and I can help you better your life. If I give that away, if I just say people, you know what, I'm just going to help you, people are going to be like, why would I do that? He's not charging for it. It can't be that good, you know? And so I'm it's that challenge. It's because we've been brought up in this materialistic consumerist world where everything needs to cost money for it to have value. And if somebody gives you something for free, it must not be worth it because it was free. I see that a lot. I actually hear that a lot as well. It's a hard concept because I don't necessarily believe that. That's not how I've ever been functioned. I love when people give me things because I can repurpose it and I can find a new way to use it and I can find some awesome thing to do with it. I think what I need to do, thinking about this, guys, I think it might be time. I've talked about it before, what we talked about with the Mavis Institute, where I teach people basic farming. I either need to retool what I'm doing here at the Mavis Institute, or I need to start my adulting class where I teach people how to, I just run another nonprofit and figure out ways to get grants, figure out ways to extract money from the system to teach people how to beat the system. Because if I extract enough money from the system and teach enough people how to beat the system, then we can swip the paranoid. So if anybody out there knows anything about how to get grants, that's a good way. That's a good segue to this. If anybody knows anything about how to get grants, I can write grants. I can write grants like a mofo. I've taken grant writing classes. I can do that kind of stuff. If anybody needs help writing grants, let me know. I can help you write a grant. If you need help starting a business or a nonprofit, I can help you with those too. I'm not going to charge you. Just going to help you. Just make sure that's clear. Just going to help you. You need help with a nonprofit. You need help with that. You need help starting a church. I started a church too. You need help with any of that, just ask. I'd be more than happy to help you. But if anybody out there knows how to find the grants, for someone who is so good at using Google, I am so good at finding anything on the internet. I am so good at using ChatGPT. I, for the life of me, don't know what block I have that I can't find these grants. I mean, right now is probably not the best time to find grants anyways, with the government doing the silliness that they're doing. But it just, I don't understand. There's a block somewhere. There's a block somewhere in me. But anyways, what I was saying is, I want to see how this year goes. I want to see if I get my projects done. I'm testing myself this year. I'm seeing what I actually am going to get done. I have my just-in-time victory garden. I have my bees that I'm going to do. I have 2 sets of classes I'm going to teach at the library. I have trying to regularly get back to Let's Feed the Chicken shows. I've got a bunch of stuff that I really, really, really want to do. And I want to see if I've got the drive to do it. Because if I've got the drive to do it, then step number 2 is to start going back to the Mavis Wellness Retreat. And I'm going to start turning on the Mavis Wellness Retreat. And then as soon as I get that starting to go, the Mavis Wellness Retreat, the whole purpose of that is to fund my eco village or my smart village or my hamlet, my insanity cult. I don't know. Everybody calls it something different. And the insanity cult was a joke, of course, because, anytime you try to get a group of people together and do awesome things, they call you a cult for some silly reason. Anyways, I want my end goal is, I know what one of my legacies is. My legacy is I'm going to start a community somewhere here in Southern West Virginia. I'm going to start a community where like-minded people can live, where older folks and younger folks can live together. Because I know a lot of people my age that either don't have kids or their kids aren't going to take care of them. And they're not going to have anything to give their kids anyway. So they don't own anything to give their kids. So there's no legacy to give on. So if we have a place for those folks to stay, and we've got young folks cycling in with old folks, middle-aged folks, young folks, the young folks can learn off of the middle-aged folks. The middle-aged folks can be the ones that maintain everything. And then the older folks can be sharing their knowledge and being taken care of. I'm building a tribe is what I'm doing. I'm building an old school tribe where the elderly are taken care of and the children and the young people learn. And we have a full I want to bring that back. I'm going to do it, even if it only ends up being like 5 or 6 people, even if it's just a handful of my friends that have already told me that they want to do it. And I know a couple young people that I'm pretty sure will be more than happy to. They've said it. They've kept saying it most of their life. I'm going to do that. That's something that is a legacy I'm going to leave. Right now, let's call it the Mavis Eco Village. It's just easier term. I'm going to do that. So I think the ranting's done. I can feel the chill. I can definitely feel I'll tell you guys. So I think some of you might not, if you guys watched, if you haven't seen it, you should look back a couple episodes ago. It's on rotation here, but you can also get on Rumble and type in X Factor Firefly or Let's Feed the Chickens, LTFC. When I accidentally took way too much of that pot gummy and I tripped, it was a great thing. It actually, just as when I first learned how to use VR, and VR changed my way I looked at the entire world, and I was able to change my perspective, that did the same thing. And I am a firm believer, unless there is something completely broken with you, everybody should have some type of, at least once in your life, you should have some type of psychedelic experience. And the psychedelic experience could be watching the eclipse. Absolutely psychedelic for me. Watching the eclipse was psychedelic. Watching the eclipse felt very similar to taking that gummy, which was very interesting. Everybody should have some type of mind clearing, not necessarily mind altering, mind clearing event in their life. I've heard from other people is being present when your children are born is like that. So, so there's just, everybody needs some type of mind clearing event. And if you haven't had it and you're feeling broken, you should try to figure out how to have a mind clearing event. A very safe one. I don't want anybody, don't go drop acid and think that that's necessarily going to be mind clearing. It's not. It's all about the experience and being in the right situation and doing everything correct. It could just be simply going and meditating on a mountain for a while. And you might have to do that for weeks and weeks and weeks on end until you finally reach the stage of mind clearing event. Yeah. Let's start heading back to the house. I don't know if you guys watch it's some Norwegian dude. He's really cool. He sits around by the fire and he talks about stuff. I really like watching him, and I want to do something like that in the future. It's like Bull Henson, I think Bull Henson, I think might be his name. If you haven't checked him out, it's cool. He's a really cool dude. He's on YouTube. I think I want to do something like that in the future. I think I want to do a whole show where I just sit around by the fire and talk my crazy talk. By the way, guys, this crazy talk, everything that I'm doing, completely sober, like no mind altering anything. This is how my brain functions on its own and how crazy I really am. Hence the reason I live here in Southern West Virginia. You know what? It's been a while since I've done it. So let me spin the camera around. We'll do a quick little quiet 360 so you guys can see. I will go quiet now. So we're going to start with the house in front of us and we're going to go all the way around. I'm just going to be quiet. So here we go. And we're back. Okay. Look at these beautiful clouds. Sometimes I forget just to take a deep breath and just go, wow, amazing. Sometimes I forget. We all forget sometimes that some of the most exciting things that we can see are just little clouds in front of our face. So, those are watching. If you're new, if this is your first time watching all this, or if you're an old time person, so expect I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to do Let's Feed the Chickens 5 days a week. As soon as I get everything figured out, we are going to be on Tuesday nights Somewhere between 9:30 and 10 o'clock Eastern time, we are going to do a Midnight Doc's Garden where we're going to talk about gardening and the latest state of gardening and what you can do and how you can take more control over your gardening tactics. Then as soon as I get bees, either Saturdays or Sundays, we are going to do a hour to 2 hour long bee inspection class where we're just going to get in there. We're going to learn about bees. We're going to be more bee aware. So that is something that will be coming up. And then soon we will be up where we were just sitting. I'm going to be putting a fence up there. I'm going to be putting that, and that's going to be the just-in-time victory garden, where we are doing a 1940s style victory garden where I am going to see what is the most amount of food I can yield off of that. So I'm going to be taking the plans. I have workbooks from the 1940s on how to create enough food for a family so that we can be producing most of our veg up in there. And I have that. I did a little pre-workshop of that already, but I will be teaching that class in April. So we'll be talking a lot more about that. And then if I can, I also will be live streaming my class. I will be live streaming my class from the library. I'm going to run a test run for this first class that I'll be doing March 12th at the Craft Memorial Library here in Bluefield. I'll be doing a test run with that one. And we'll see how well that goes. And if that works out well, then I'll be doing that with all of the classes. So, and yeah. Spin back up this way, you guys. Don't get to see this shot very often of coming up to the backside of my house. So that'll all be coming up soon. So those are shows to look forward to, things that you can be involved in. If you guys want to be part of the Discord, join the Discord. If you guys really want merch, I'm actually on the process of making a couple new hats and a few things like that. Again, you know, not expecting anything from anyone, and I'd rather you spend your money on seeds or bettering yourself. But if you have extra money sitting around and you don't know what to do with it and you really want to support me, I'll have stuff. I'll have cool stuff for you to get in the future if I think it's high enough quality and something that I think is cool. Anyways, guys, I'm here at the porch. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you guys tomorrow, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day. And until tomorrow, thanks Lavender Ranch, thanks Y Shots, or however I need to learn how to say your name right, all the other kind of stuff, and everybody else. I think there's a few other people that stopped by. Thank you guys all for stopping by. I will see you guys on here tomorrow. Today's Thursday. Enjoy your Thursday.
In the heart of Appalachia, where the mountains kiss the sky, I roam the ancient forests, where the wild things live and die. One day I met a ranger, wise with eyes of deepest gray. He saw my yearning spirit, and he had some words to say. He said, take this sword, young dreamer, forged in fires old and bright. It's a gift from ancient guardians to guide